So in the previous video, we just talked about that what is a class and what is an object, right? We just discussed the ideas. In this particular video, we'll be actually seeing that what happens or what is class, what is object, right? And how are the various things related to each other. So if I perform scripting, then I do I is equals to 10. Supposedly this is what I write and I do print type of I. Just see here it is written class end. Now what does it mean? I'll be telling you in some minute. You write I is equals to, let me write my name and I do print type of I. Now it says class str. Now one thing like very you can say to observe is that I is a variable. That is what we have been talking about. Like definitely. This is the first thing you study when you start Python, C++ or any other language. If I talk about, it says class integer, which means I is an object of class integer. So that is the beauty. The Python is written in OOPS, right? It is written in object-oriented programming, due to which it is showing me that now I is nothing but it is an object of class integer. But now you'll be saying that wait, you have been like we have been saying that it is a variable, then how it come it is an object? See, basically, object is also nothing but it is a variable of class, right? Now, a car, when I say a car, simple. Now, car can take any value. Car can be Audi, Ferrari, BMW, Nano, like Tata Safari, anything, correct? So, definitely, car can also be anything. So, that is we call object as variable of the class. Or sometimes we also say that object is instance of class. Now, definitely that is common English word. Like if we have a classification and something falls in that classification, that's basically an instance, right? So object is an instance of class. Sure, it is a real world entity, definitely, but it is an instance of class or it is a variable of class, right? Got it? So similarly, I is nothing but a variable, and this is, but as of now we are talking about oops. We won't call it variable, we'll call it object. So this object belongs to class str, this object belongs to class end. And even if you are not guaranteed about this, just wait for a while, I'll prove you. Now how you define a class in Python, right? So I'll write here the keyword class. So as to tell the interpreter that, okay, now I'm going to make a class. Like for the functions, we use the keyword def, right? DEF. This signifies that we are going to make a function. But this means that I'm going to make a class. Now let's name the class as car because I have given you, that example. So you can have any name, like just that it should follow the conventions, same as you go for variable name. So that's all there, right? Type a semicolon, and that's the class declaration. Now inside, as of now, I don't want to write anything, and we have a keyword called pass. So what does keyword pass means? It simply means that my body is going to be empty, right? I'm not going to write anything in my body. In C++ or any other programming language, definitely you can leave everything blank in the curly braces, but here because there are no curly braces, here it's the indentation, so you need to write pass if you want to have a blank body. Okay, now I'll be creating object, that is, let me say Audi, right? So how to create an object? Name the object equal to name of the class and parenthesis, right? So this is how I created an object. Okay, let me print this object. So it says car object, which means Audi is nothing but an object of car. Okay, so now let me try to print the type of Audi. Means what is the type of this object, which is Audi, right? And what is object? As I said, it is a real world entity. And what is class? It's just a classification. So classification is car. What are the objects? Audi, Ferrari, BMW, Nano, Mercedes Benz, or anything. They all are the objects. So what is the type of this object? What is the type of Audi? Class, just ignore this main, right? And here also above, ignore this main. This is just telling you the address where this object is there, right? Where it object exists. Here also just ignore this thing. Just see class car, right? Here also class end. Now are you able to draw the parallelism, right? That is the beauty. It's so such a great concept, right? Like we can appreciate it, that's all, right? So this is how we created a class object. Okay, so let us just clean all this up and move ahead. Okay, so now we had a class which is a car and we didn't write anything over here. And we created a simple object which is Audi, right? So this is the object I have created. Now definitely, as I said, that class will have its own features and the object will have their own features as well, right? So basically, in programming language, if I talk about, this means that we're going to define the functions and the variables inside a class, right? So, okay, we'll be defining functions and variables in the class. But as of now, say I say that, okay, there are no features and you can say there are no attributes, which is function and data inside class car. Okay, if there is not, it means that let me try to create the features of Audi only, right? As of now, I'm not considering the features or what you say as data or functions of this car, but just for Audi. Now, what it means, you'll just get to know in a minute. Just wait. So Audi dot name, right? I can write the full name like Audi, like whatever, like supposedly Audi this, that, right? Or okay, let me just take over here or the object as Maruti, right? So, and I write Maruti dot name is equals to Maruti 800, right? I can have the attribute as Maruti dot color is equals to say silver. Maruti dot year, basically the year in which I bought, says 2016, right? So these are the attributes I defined, right? So whenever you are supposed to define the attributes, one thing you need to keep in mind is that we need to write dot over here, right? So why we need to write dot? This is an obvious thing, right? If you have done strings or anything and you used to write like s is equals to, say I write my name over here and I write s dot, right? And that is how my various method used to come, like I can use capitalize, it happened, right? So basically what does it means? It means that this is also nothing but object, that is what we have seen, right? And when you need to have any function over here, you need to put a dot. Okay, now many of you would have also done the complex number, right? This is how you represented a complex number, right? If I do c dot, right? So since this thing which is real, right, this is a variable, so I'm not putting a parenthesis, but the conjugate is a function of this c of whatever class, like the class is complex, right? If you just print type of C. So this is class complex and I have created an object. So this class complex, it may have real or it may not have, but the object is having that attributes, right? So this is conjugate. So the function is called by these brackets and this is called by, like, you don't write anything, right? So I hope that you are able to draw parallelism with what you have done, right? So this is how I allot the names. This is definitely how I am supposed to allot the names, right? So, okay, now let me just do something very interesting as of now. And that interesting thing is that, okay, we saw that it is like a class is complex. So let me try to make an object. So here we made an object. You can also see by writing type, right? So it is complex, right? Like print. So you can see it's a class complex. Now definitely this is how I should assign the attribute, but you would get an error for this, right? So don't think that, okay, there's something wrong in it. There isn't something wrong in it, but it's that they have made the attributes as readable only. Like, okay, just see. The error says read only attribute. So as of now, we have not made these attributes as read only. As we move on, I'll see that if that is required or not in OOPS. But if it was read only, this is how I would be providing it. right? The various things or various objects, right? So let's remove it as of now and let's get move on, right? Now, many of the people ask that how many objects you can create for a particular class. Definitely, you can have an infinite number, right? As a new car is introduced, so definitely that will also be an object. So let us say that we have Audi this time and car. So here I created the object, right? So this definitely also belongs to the class car, right? Yep, definitely. Let's remove it and let's get into coding. Now, definitely let me write over here Audi dot. Let it be that it doesn't have name, color, and year. As I said, they all are having different things. So Audi dot price, right? Let me just write any random number as of now. That is Audi dot price, and it has year, right? Audi dot year. Now, definitely when I'll be making the class, as of now, I have not passed any attribute or anything into the class, right? But when I'll be doing that, so at that particular time, this is common, right? So I'll be having that as attribute of class. But one by one, we'll be doing things. So say I bought that in 2017. Simple. Now, yeah, you can definitely print all of these as well. Let me print Maruti dot. Okay, like when you do S is equals to symbol and you did S dot and press tab, then all the functions come, right? So let's just press tab and you can see the different functions which came. I would like to see year, right? Let's run it 2016. Perfect, the way we wanted, right? Okay, now let's just do one more thing. Let's just press tab once again. Color silver, right? That's how you access. Like I literally just hope that you are able to draw the parallelism. So let me see the price, and there it is, right? That is how we basically do all these things. But what we did as of now, we just provided attributes to this objects. We haven't provided any attribute to car, due to which if I try to have car dot year, supposedly it says it the type object car has no attribute here, definitely because we have not defined it. But once we define it, now instead of past, supposedly I write over here year is equals to 1998, supposedly, right? Now try to do this. See, it's there, right? So my class will have that particular object or will have that particular function only if you define it. So as of now, these all are like what I can say. Now, one another interesting thing. Now let me say that I removed this thing for year, right? Let me de-execute. So Audi dot price is cool. Let me try to print Audi dot year. So see, I didn't give any year, right? I didn't define, but it is 1998. Why this happened? Because here the year that is a common in everything, and if it's common in everything, then definitely okay. But here, if you see Maruti dot year, it's 2016. So this is like it was overwritten, right? So what in this class, basically what I'm trying to say that generally all of the cars are made in year 1998. But if there is some car which is not made in 1998, I can overwrite it. Definitely. Now, I didn't define year over here. Definitely I didn't. Then why is it showing 1998? Because that is a function of, or that is a data of class. And definitely whatever properties are there of car will be the properties of every other like specific thing, right? So as of now, we'll just end up this session here. And I will just talk about it. This is not how we actually do. This all was just for your concept building, how we actually define the classes, what is an init method, like duck typing, everything, right? So we'll be talking about that. But as of now, I hope that the concepts are clear. So till now, this was just for the concept clarity, but this is not how we actually define your classes. So till then, I would just say If you have any doubt, just email. That is conceptsindepthandeasy@gmail.com, and feel free to ask anything any number of times. Thank you. Happy learning and have a good day.